evening as well, this morning, and will continue throughout the afternoon as needed. I have my personnel, my supportive staff that's joining me right here at the podium. And at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Colin Arnold, who is our Director of Homeland Security, to give you more information. You'll hear from our Deputy CAO Ramsey Green relative to infrastructure, and you will also hear from our Councilman Oliver Thomas representing District E. So with that, Colin, please come forward.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Good morning. With reference right off the bat to the weather moving on through the rest of the week, we're going to have clear skies, temperatures in the 70s, lows in the 50s, 10-mile-an-hour winds. So this is a good time for those that do have damage in Orleans Parish or wherever to start mitigating that while we have this what appears to be stable weather through the rest of the week. And I think that that's just important to note. We're not anticipating any severe weather through Sunday. Really what we're observing is that in Orleans Parish, we've had our hazard mitigation team out this morning doing some follow-up damage assessments, not seeing a lot of damage in the lower Ninth Ward, nor are we seeing it in Algiers, the West Bank area where this tornado yesterday kind of started. What we are seeing, however, is some damage in New Orleans East around the areas of Prentice and Coronado, North Idlewild and Wright, and on Houck Street. In that area of New Orleans East that's being addressed right now. Saw about 50 structures, most with minor damage. That would be shingles, fascia, siding, those types of issues. About 5 or 6 with more moderate to major roof damage. And we will be continuing to work with those homeowners, and I'll have some resources here during my time up here to talk about that. We have put out tarps to Council Members Thomas and Council Member Moreno and their staffs, and they are actively out in that area right now, giving out tarps to residents to do what they can to tarp roofs as necessary. We've been obviously working with St. Bernard Parish last night into today. A lot of EMS surge unit capacity went in there last night. We also had rescue squads from the fire department and deputy and district chiefs that went down there to assist them. This is that collapsed structure rescue, confined space rescue, very technical types of rescues that, potentially needed to be done, and inspections as well. And so you're seeing right now today a continuation of that with many fire department, up to, I believe, 20 New Orleans firefighters are part of the overall state effort in the urban search and rescue team. That's Task Force 1 in New Orleans, Task Force 2 in Baton Rouge is here. You have fire and EMS officials and police officials from all over the state. State Fire Marshal's office has a heavy presence down here right now. They are doing those secondary searches, making sure they're not overlooking anything, and also starting that damage assessment. That's what they're down there doing today. They should be done sometime this afternoon. And that's predominantly in St. Bernard, but we'll also have that in Orleans Parish as well. We were also down with St. Bernard Parish this morning with the National Weather Service. As has been reported, they have determined this to be an EF3 tornado. That is one of their responsibilities. They will continue. They go to the hardest hit areas first and do inspection, assessment, and then they move out towards the rest of the areas. So we'll be working with them this afternoon and tomorrow to continue that look into Orleans Parish, Jefferson Parish, wherever else this may have had an impact. It looks to be, at least in St. Bernard, about 2 miles long, half-mile wide, pretty tight storm, but just incredible, obviously, from what you've seen from images, incredible devastation there. New Orleans Police Department also assisted last night with a lot of our initial damage assessments as per our plan. They also assisted St. Bernard Parish with traffic control. We have our Joint Information Center and our EOC activated right now for any outstanding requests that may come in, monitoring any of our mutual aid that's out there. The Joint Information Center will be handling all of our disaster messaging moving forward. They're also coordinating a lot of the volunteer efforts that have been flooding in to our offices, and we're relaying that. We have our boots on the ground in St. Bernard forwarding a lot of that resource information there, but obviously the resources are also available for anyone that may have been affected in any way in Orleans Parish. As the mayor said, we'll declare, and FEMA's on the ground here in a recovery stance from Hurricane Ida. So that's going to continue. I think there'll be, we've already received calls from our local FEMA representation that they're ready to help. We do know about the power situation, should be remedied tonight. What I will say is that for anyone in Orleans Parish, St. Bernard Parish, anyone affected by this, there is a crisis cleanup home hotline. It's 504-350-0788. That's 504-350-0788. If you need assistance with damage from the tornado, we will contact you with volunteers, or connect you, with volunteers from local relief organizations, community groups, and faith-based community groups, which may be able to assist you with cutting fallen trees, drywall, flooring, and appliance removal, tarping, mold mitigation. These services are free. But services, it's a volunteer service. It's not absolutely guaranteed. This hotline will remain open through Friday, April 8th, 2022. That's crisis cleanup, 504-350-0788. The Southeast Louisiana Legal Services has also activated their hotline, and that is for free legal services available to people impacted by the tornado. Free civil legal aid from your local legal aid office may be available, and survivors often need help with problems like landlord-tenant disputes, disaster food stamps, power of attorney, FEMA disputes, all those things that we've unfortunately gone through in the past. So again, that number, I don't have the number here, but we'll follow up with you on that. And really, that's all I have right now. Just ongoing efforts in the aftermath of this tornado yesterday. So thank you. And I think we're going to.
I'm going to turn it over to Ramsey. Thank you, Colin.
Thank you.
Thank you, Colin. Thank you, Mayor. Really, what's been happening since first light this morning is clearing debris from public rights of way. We had less than 10 calls, more than 5 for a lot of uprooted trees. One tree fell onto a car, a lot of major blockages of public rights of ways, and we're clearing those tickets really rapidly. I spent some time this morning on Houck, Pressburg, intersection of Pressburg and Good, Coronado and New Orleans East, and seeing DPW, sanitation, and parkways folks out there, and seeing neighbors come out and clean and clear their own debris. It's a very good thing to see. Really, the message to the public is, if you're walking around your neighborhood, don't touch a power line. Obviously, always assume a power line is live. Be careful out there. There's a lot of stuff, but really, those are the sort of areas, if you're driving, trying to avoid those areas at this moment. We have, right now, we have reports of 10 traffic signals that are out. Those are thankfully not subsurface damage, which is like a crinked wire or something like that. It's just when the traffic signal goes over the street, it just sort of turns like a weather vane. We believe our in-house teams can get those things turned in a matter of days, not much longer than that. Those, pardon me. Additionally, we are seeing that our buildings are largely okay, police and fire stations, as well as city assets throughout. The data we're using are 311 inbound calls. So if you see something in the street that's obstructing traffic or something, please call the 311 line. And then we're also looking at where Entergy's power went down and tracking where that that swath of damage is. Update from the utilities is T-Mobile is 100% operational. Cox is 5% down, which includes New Orleans and St. Bernard, and they're working to get it back up. Verizon says they're at 100%. They had a backup system that kept them going. And then finally, just some numbers from Entergy. As of 10 a.m. this morning, approximately 1,900 New Orleans residents remained without electric service. They believe at this moment that by 11 p.m., those houses that can receive power will have power on. And that's that New Orleans East area in particular. They've got 90 poles, 50 transformers, and 100 spans of wire have been identified as damaged and in need of repair or replacement. On the transmission side, that's bringing power to the city. The distribution system is the power lines you see within our city. Transmission brings it to the city. 3 transmission line segments, including one that runs through the marsh near Parish Road in Chalmette that diverts toward New Orleans, were impacted, and a substation in Arabi was severely damaged. Entergy is out there, saw them, and they are working to reroute where they need to ensure power gets back on where it needs to here in the city. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Ramsey. Director Chief?
Good morning. How y'all doing? I've been in touch with the public safety team, fire, EMS, as well as New Orleans Police Department. As Colin Arnold said, fire and EMS is still down in St. Bernard Parish. NOPD did an assessment last night as to what they can see in the dark. This morning, they're out doing an assessment, checking the roadways, make sure everything is safe. And also they're available if you need to get in touch with them to report any damage or any street closures that you may see. Please call the 311 number and we'll get a police officer out there if we need to block off streets. We will continue to monitor this. The superintendent is in touch with St. Bernard Sheriff in case he needs any additional resources. And we also have the blue light patrol out tonight. If there's any dark areas, we have some lighting units that we'll be positioning to assist in lighting up those dark areas. And we also have the police out there doing blue light patrol. So if you see anything or that's blocked up and anything that requires any assistance from the first responders or the public safety team, please call 311 or you can text 311 as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Director Chief. Councilman Thomas, anything to add?
First of all, thank you, Mayor and team. The level of communication between my colleagues on the council, the mayor and her administration have been exemplary. And for those of you who have been around, you know, I've been through a few of these. The team that I was out with last night did an immediate assessment. It was Brian Randolph from my staff, businessman Otis Tucker, as well as members of the police force who are out there in the lower Ninth Ward. The lower Ninth Ward was actually spared, contrary to some of the reports we got last night. We went from Sister Street to Duberell. If you know the lower Ninth Ward, Sister Street is the first street and Duberell is actually the last street. And from the river to Florida, other than some wind, we were very fortunate. Through to this morning and last night, United Way Mayor was active last night. Emergency response teams were active last night. The Chief Blue Lights and the police department was active last night. And one of the most encouraging things was that the neighbor-to-neighbor responses that happened not only last night, but throughout today. All of my council members have been engaged and in tune with what's happening in the district. Councilmember Morell and I were in the core, I've called it the ground zero area Prentice and Coronel, passing out water and doing assessments. The Red Cross is currently in that area. Pastor Friend, whose church is on Chef, along with businessman Howie Kaplan and others, are looking to do feeding. The governor has given us a little information. He's been in communication with the mayor and I think it's damage.la.gov for homeowners and renters, damage.la.gov. I think it's important that the press release that information for homeowners and renters. But Mayor, the best thing about this, and I had never seen this before, were the strike teams that were actually in the most affected areas, cleaning, relocating trees, getting debris out of the way of homes, and making sure, if nothing else, that some of the damage that was immediate was not an obstruction for recovery. So thank you very much. And is that New Orleans, we're survivors, we're strong, and we're always here.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Councilman and Councilman Green. I see you here. Thank you for your support as well. Just wanting to encourage our residents who have been impacted to continue to support one another and also contact the city if you need anything, but utilizing 311. You can also text YES to 311 as well. So with that, we'll ask for questions as needed.
I don't have much.
Okay.
If you would like to address the public at this time.